What's going on, guys? Jack here, also known as Marley G, and today we're going to be having a bit of a look into Project 2, which has been coming along pretty well. This is the first major update. So as it stands, this project entails two kind of techie house tracks that'll fill out one EP. And so the first song, I've got both of them kind of in a skeletal frame at this point. So I'll run you through both of them really quick, what kind of elements we're working with, how I plan to kind of move them forward. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just kind of like a quick update on how it's all going. And yeah, so may as well get stuck in. So this is the first track. At this point, the placeholder name is Blip Bloop, just because of a bit of a sound design element I've got in here. So yeah, this is what it sounds like. So I'll just play like this big this build up section here. So yeah, that's pretty much what it is so far. Every other kind of part of it is just more or less copy paste with a few little like effects here and there to change it up. This final section is the most prominent in terms of layers and that sort of stuff. Like this this bit of sound design. You can hear in this section it's got a lot a filter on it, a low pass filter on it, but in the main section that filter's opened up quite a lot. So I'm just going to run you through the layers of the track. So first of all, we've got our kick layer, and that's pretty much just a kick. I've EQ'd it a little bit, and also taken some of the tail out, just so the bass is much more prominent, because I wanted the bass to be a very key aspect of this song. So so that's what it sounds like on its own. And then so we've got the hi-hat as well. That's just a pretty simple sample. EQ'd out a lot of the low ends and chucked an OTT on it, just to give it a bit of crunch. This is like a supporting hat, which is like for groove. It's important to know that I've also got a bit of automation on here that cuts the it's just this EQ being automated in and out, which actually cuts out. It's just a tension building thing, just cutting out some of that low end for a few seconds, a few beats. And then we've got the clap. It's a house song. It's staple. It has to have a kick and a hat, kick and a snare, kick and a clap. Some hats. We've got a shaker. This clap also has an OTT on it, as does this shaker instrument. But that pattern is just kind of giving a bit of variation to it, and you can see I've messed around with the velocity and stuff down here, just to give it a bit more of a lively feel to it. And then there's also this little cowbell sample that I've used, and that comes in that's about it. It's not a super common thing. Happens once every 8 bars or so. And then there's also this perk. It's a bit hard to hear, but now this perk, this percussion element works really well with this loop that I found, and this was just like an Ableton preset loop, but I kind of chopped it up a little bit to make it fit like what I wanted it to be a bit better. And I also used this reduce ambience multiband dynamic preset to kind of really tighten it up and cut out some of that low end as well. And then this is also being sidechain compressed, which gives it makes it feel like it's kind of dancing around the kick a bit more. But you can really hear how well it works with this conga. So that's without the conga. That's with the conga. Without. So it just kind of freshens up that first little bit of the first little part of the loop, I'll say. And then we've got this bass. So this is nothing fancy going on here, but we've got similar to the kick drum, we've got this EQ8 that's being automated to cut off everything below 100 hertz. That's a tension thing. It's being sidechained lightly to the kick, not too much. You don't want to lose, well, you don't want it to lose that characteristic. And so all it really is it's a pulse width modulated square wave and a sine wave sub that's going direct out. That just gives it that clean sub sound. And then there's a filter opening up, and there's a little bit of noise, which kind of gives it that almost percussive feel to it. So super simple bass, and then just a bit of compression and another filter on the top of it as well. And then this is kind of what took probably the most time to make, just purely trial and error, was this that sound there. And what it is, there's actually these effects are all purely kind of tension building and stuff. So you hear these effects that are in Ableton more in the build-ups and that sort of stuff, but everything is happening pretty much in Serum. So we've got this sound here, and I'll just show you. So that's what it sounds like on its own. And so we've got this LFO, which is applying itself to the coarse pitch, and so this is just a sawtooth wave that has 3 voices of unison that are slightly detuned, and the real kind of effects and stuff come from, like, so first off, the band filter gives it this kind of weird characteristic to it. But then this is where like trial and error came into place. Like, it was purely just putting this kind of ramped LFO on a bunch of different things and seeing what happened, and it ended up sounding pretty cool. And I was happy with the result, so that's what that sound is. And yeah, so that's everything together. And then you've got this is just like a laser sample. Pretty subtle, not like more of like an ornamental thing than anything else. Other aspects include like so that's like a reverse crash and a crash. Just samples flipped. This build up is just like a lot of velocity variation and like a few MIDI variation things to kind of make it sound a bit more lively, and then it goes into triplet notes as well in the last few, like the last bar and a bit, which I thought was pretty cool. I never really experimented much with triplets, but I think it sounds pretty good there. But yeah, that's pretty much what we've got for that one so far. So, things I want to add, definitely want to get some vocals for it, where I don't really know if I want to get like a sample or if I want to get vocals recorded for it, like lyrics and stuff. I definitely want to add more melodic layers, whether they're like super intense melodic layers, like very complex, or just kind of really simple. I haven't really decided yet. I think I'm going to experiment a little bit. And then just overall, just like polishing it and making it sound real nice and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'll show you the other track that I'm working on as well. Okay, so this is the second track that I've been working on. And it's like a lot more basic at this point. It's more of just like a conceptual thing. But we'll see kind of how it turns out in the end. I'll just show you what it's looking like so far. So yeah, that's pretty much where it's at so far anyway. So I'll go through some of the different kind of layers and stuff on it. So I think we'll do this like a similar thing to what we did last time. So this is the kick drum, super simple. It's a bit punchier, a bit deeper than the other one. Not as much high end to it. And then we've got the hats, some supporting hats, and then the clap. And then we've got this little percussion here. Cool little percussion hit there. And then we've also got this is just a shaker sample, and I've got like a little left-right pan thing going on it. I've also got this, which is just like a shaker. And then there's also this, that's just the that snare that I've used for the build up there. Also use this little bit of white noise, and that's mainly just like a release thing. I find it's good to chuck that in at the very, like pretty much on the drop, and it's a great way to release a lot of tension. And then there's also this conga sample. Oh, sorry, this is a snare. I don't know why it's named conga, but this is a supplementary snare sound. And then we've got the bass. that's pretty simple. Again, just being sidechain compressed very lightly. But that's a triangle wave with oh no, sorry, that's a sawtooth. So sawtooth wave, square wave, that's a similar setup to basses I've made before, with the sub going directly out. And yeah, just being compressed with a few effects and stuff, nothing too serious. And then there's a little sound design element that used to be pretty intense, but it's more ornamental now, just kind of like a background thing. And then there's something that I made from that. Which is a cool little sound. And all it really is doing is using this LFO, and it's triggering. That's going very quickly, obviously, and that's what's giving it that kind of weird, elasticy feel. And with the band filter as well, I found that made a really big difference, like in the overall sound of it. I think. Yeah, I don't know. Again, with this one, it's all down to experimentation. Similar to that other sound that I made in the previous track. Like, if you just kind of experiment and have fun, then often you don't even realize when you're making something cool. You know, can be totally unexpected what you originally set out to make. But yeah, so this is pretty much it's pretty much that one so far. So with this one again, like vocals, I'm pretty sure just make it like a whole lot better. I'm not sure about other things. I was thinking maybe like some more melodic stuff, but at this point I'm not too sure how I'm going to go for time, which is going to be like, I think I'm going to be a bit hard pressed to kind of get everything done by the due date, but we'll see what happens, and I'll keep you guys up to date. Thanks again for watching. If you have any questions about my process or like anything like that, feel free to leave a comment, shoot me a message, anything. Yeah, I hope you liked the video, and I'll see you guys next time.